A horse is a horse, of course, and no one can talk to a horse, of course. That is, of course, unless the horse is the famous Mr. Ed. Go right.
Miss Morgan, Harlan McGraw III of Boston, Massachusetts. How do you do?
Better now that you're here, Mr. McGraw. Please come in.
Hiya, Jessica. You ready to roll?
Harry, you really look... Well, words fail me.
What she means is she's surprised that I'd have threads this sharp in my closet. The fact is I borrowed them from a friend who owes me a favor.
That was very nice of him.
It certainly was. Did he know about it?
Well, the fact is he's out of town, which is why I'd like to get these duds back to Boston by Friday, which is when he comes back from Vegas.
Well, Friday. That's not very long.
What, digging up a couple of witnesses? Piece of cake.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to episode 104 of the Cabot Cove Confab podcast. This is Sean.
Well, howdy, Sean. This is Steve.
Hi, Steve. Hi, Wilbur.
I was about to say, you Mr. Ed? What's going on?
Yes, I am, because today we're going to talk about From the Horse's Mouth.
I see what you're doing. Okay.
Yeah, see, I'm trying to make a theme here.
Yeah.
And I assure you there are
around, Sean.
There's a few bad actors in this episode. I found out a bad actor doesn't just mean bad actor, you know, like William Shatner.
Okay.
It also is a term that's used for a bad racehorse as a bad actor. I don't know where that started. Yeah. I know that from writing the show notes for the Columbo episode about the horse groomer played by George Wendt, and I can't. But Strange Bedfellows.
Yeah.
Yeah. You remember that one?
I do.
No.
And he says, just one more thing. No more questions. Or no, just one more thing.
No, Lieutenant. There is no more. Just one more thing. I think it's time for pre-show banter.
Okay. Yep.
All right.
Hello, bonjour, buenos dias. Good day, guten tag, konnichiwa. Ciao, shalom, dobre dien. Hello to all the children of the world.
You want to go first?
Yeah, sure. I really don't have much. I placed an order for this product that I got in yesterday. I was really excited about. It's for video games. So for those that don't like video games, you can tune out for the next 30 seconds or so. So
it's going to be longer than 30 seconds. It's going to
okay, 35 minutes. Do you remember back in the 90s there was a video game console called the Atari Jaguar?
Oh my God, Mr. Peabody's got to turn the dial on the Wayback Machine quite a lot for me to remember. I do sort of recall that, yes.
Okay. Well, I have one of those machines, and what sucks about having I almost said arcade game, a video game system from the 90s is it's really hard to hook those things up to modern TVs.
Yes,
they don't exist, and if you do, there's ways to fiddle with buying these adapters at new conversions. The really cheap ones they make them look all blurry and nasty, and then you can go really high and spend $500 on some of these things, and then it's not really worth the price to me. But anyway, someone had released an adapter that turns the signal from your from the actual hardware into a HD signal, so you can plug in your what's the cord? What's the cord I'm thinking of? The HDMI cord. Why can't I think of that?
Yeah, there we go.
So you can plug an HDMI cord into the back. And it looks really good. I've been playing my old Atari Jaguar games all weekend, so it's been a lot of fun.
So I want you, in Murder, She Wrote fashion, repeat everything you just told me about the Nintendo Jaguar, but do it with your best Amos Tupper impersonation.
No.
Okay. We need a serious talk, Steve. We need to
What?
talk about video games some more. Because we really, really need to talk about video game addiction. I think
Is
that...
an addiction? Are you saying I have an addiction?
No, I think I have an addiction. I was almost late to our little recording today because I was playing a video game badly, the usual, Dead by Daylight, but it's important to note that it is the same game over and over again, I guess, but and I've been provided with other very nice games. Indiana Jones and the Great Circle is a very excellent game, but I just can't. I can't pull away from Dead by Daylight. It's like Al Pacino, they keep pulling me back in.
What I'll do is I'll come over to your home and I will delete your file, and I'll take care of that.
I have it on a disc. Are you going to take that
I'll
as
take
well?
it away, yeah.
Okay. All right.
Well, see,
what else are you going to do?
Do you have a disc and
We
a
would-
digital copy?
No, I just have the disc.
See, I've got both.
Oh, okay.
That's
Very
how
good.
fucking nuts I am because I wanted to. Well, I was really into Stranger Things, and I wanted the cover with Steve and Nancy on it.
Oh, okay.
So
All
I
right.
got
I'm
that.
glad
And actually,
okay.
that's when I started playing, was with that disc. And then I signed up for, was it the Game Pass? I forgot what it was called, but you get access to all these games for a monthly charge. And with it came Dead by Daylight. So it was nice not having to pull a disc in and out of my console. And I really got comfortable with that. So when I decided not to move forward with Game Pass, because it was just going up in price, and the only games I was playing on the Game Pass was Dead by Daylight. I wasn't playing the hundreds and hundreds of other games that you have access to. So I'm like, why am I spending... I'll just get the online service where you just get to play games online. But the rub was that I really enjoyed not having to pull out my physical copy of this disc. I really like the convenience of it being preloaded on the console. All they do is click a button or the tile on the screen, and boom, I'm in the game. Then
See, what I do is I just leave the disc in there.
Yeah, see, that's too old school for me, I guess. I don't know that.
It's getting to be old school for me as well. Yeah. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Well, so if you have the Game Pass and you want to actually buy the game digitally, if you have the Game Pass, you get to apply like I forget what the discount is. It's like a 20%, around that 20% discount off the game. So for my final day with the Game Pass, I bought Dead by Daylight digitally, so I could use that discount. Now I have the digital code and the physical copy. Totally pointless, but
Do you remember years ago, like it may have been in the 90s, there was a viral video that went around this kid whose mom had deleted his World of Warcraft account?
probably Minecraft. But go on.
Minecraft. No. This is before Minecraft. This was World of Warcraft. Because it's old. It's old. And he's basically in his room having a fucking tantrum, and he takes the remote control and like puts it on his ass for a second. Have you seen this before?
No.
But everybody laughs at it. Ah ha ha! It's so funny. What a child. But I understand now. If you did something and deleted all my Dead by Daylight shit that I've accumulated, over the past 9 years,
It has not been that long, has it?
Well, the game's been around 9 years. This will be the 9th year, but I haven't been playing it that long. I don't remember who was the killer who was the newest killer. I think it may have been the Oni, the demon guy. I don't know. Anyway, okay.
So this kid lost his shit when his mother did something to his PC or something. Is that?
Yeah,
what
she deleted. I don't know how she got into it, but she deleted his World of Warcraft account.
Huh.
And you get a lot of shit in that game. I mean, the game is just about getting shit. I don't even think you get shit done. I think you just roam around a map and collect shit and shoot goblins and shit.
There's a lot of shit in that game.
Yeah, a ton of shit you got to put up with. Anyway, okay.
that's my pre-show banter. It's just bought that adapter, and I've been enjoying my old games. Once
Well,
again.
that's really, I'm very happy for you. And while you're playing them, are you like, I want Dead by Daylight? Anyway.
Yeah, I mean, I go back and forth, sure.
Oh, I can share this. This is a little bit of, for the kids out there who enjoy board games.
Uh-huh.
I went to a friend's house because we occasionally get together and have board game nights, and there was this game that I wanted to get, so I stopped at Barnes & Noble and paid about $10 more
Those
than
are
I
still
would
around?
at Amazon. Yeah, there's one right by my house. They're doing well. They're actually doing quite well.
All right.
I don't know how. Maybe it's because they stopped trying to sell Blu-rays and DVDs finally. So the board game was the Texas Chainsaw Massacre board game.
Huh.
And
Go
this there are two of them out there. This is the one made by Funko. And there were three of us playing. I played the bad guys. They played the people, the teenagers or whatever. And like their it was almost like their mission was to get in the house, grab something, and then get out of the house without being killed by me. And I have the Leatherface, the cook, and the hitchhiker.
Okay.
And they come out at different times. And it's just so one-sided, but the game was so much fun, and the artwork was fantastic. It was so much better than Muppets Clue. I'm just going to say that.
Wait, so
Okay.
this is a Clue game, or is this its own?
No,
thing?
this is a board game. Recently, there's a couple companies that have just been producing board games based off of movies and TV shows. There's a Stranger Things one out there. I have the Alien one. There's a Jaws, The Shining, Texas Chainsaw, Night of the Living Dead. I mean, they're all. It's actually pretty cool. I have the Alien one, but I never played it. But I do have Alien versus Predator Clue, if you're interested in that.
Oh.
Still in its shrink wrap. Anyway, okay.
Well, one of the games on the Atari Jaguar, one of its killer apps, was the Alien vs. Predator video game. I think it was the first one to actually ever get released.
That's one of those rare instances where the game is actually better than the movie.
Oh my god.
I haven't even played it. I just
The
know.
last bowel movement I had was better than the movie.
I remember I had some night alone. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to rent Alien versus Predator. You know, I'm going to drop my $3 or $4 down. You know what? There are some things I just won't do for money, and sitting through that entire movie was one of them. I think I probably got like 15 minutes in, and it was like a very bad, like, it was
this
like,
the first one or the second one?
it was the first one.
Okay, the first
And
one is doable. The second one is so god awful that it's I can't. I've watched it once, and I own it just for the sake that I want to own all the Alien movies. But
Yeah, I understand.
yeah, I don't think I could watch that one again. It's so bad. It's like the Dawson's Creek meets the Alien. Alien, because it takes place in Colorado in this little country town. Sounds like South Park, but it's so bad. You got these teenagers all angsty and horny for each other, and it's just so. Oh my god.
Oh, that sounds terrible. It's like a slasher movie.
Yeah, I guess that's the what they were going for. You've never seen it?
No, I've just seen the first 15 minutes of part 1.
I will. Next time we hook up, I've got to bring that movie and I'll force you to
Okay.
watch it because you'll need to get properly drunk though.
Don't use that term hook up.
Okay.
That means something else completely different. If you want to hook up with someone, you go to Grindr. You don't go to the Cabot Cove Confab. Anyway, okay. Or Tinder, or Bumble, or Toaster.
Toaster. Okay.
It's
So
like
glad
Grindr,
you're
except
hip. I'm so
it's
glad
for
you're hip with all
women.
this stuff. I don't know anything.
All right. Okay.
What are we talking about?
We're talking about Murder, She Wrote. This
Oh,
is, I
yes.
think, a Murder, She Wrote podcast. And we're going to talk about the episode from Season 7, From the Horse's Mouth. And I'll tell you, after the harrowing thing that was Jack and Bill, it is such a delight to see Angela Lansbury on the screen again. Oh man. But this is interesting because there's another like horse race one, isn't there?
I'm sure there is. I feel like there is. I just can't think of it.
And of course, okay, I can't remember the name of it either. I remember people in it. Like, I remember there was this jockey, and he had this hot wife, and she did something. I don't know.
That's right. Yeah.
So, from the horse's mouth, where are we? Is this Kentucky?
Yeah,
This
it's
must be
taking
Kentucky.
place at, I guess, some kind of a conference or something that Donald Trump is running. There's a lot of people there that seem like they would be for him. So I guess in 91, Donald Trump was having some kind of speaking engagement, and all his fans were there.
Yes. Hey, you know what? I probably would have been there if I could. I liked Donald Trump back in the day. Big fan of The Apprentice. Anyway.
Yeah, that was probably the beginning of his career as a popular individual, I would say. Yeah. Because the only thing I knew about him before then was, what are we talking about him for? Okay, let's...
I know, really. I do this so I don't have to think about him. Thanks, Steve. Should be thinking about Angela Lansbury, not Donald Trump. Okay. Jessica places a $200 bet for her friend Harry McGraw in Boston.
It's a 3x2, or so what she say. There's code here. There's gambling code.
I used to know it, but I
it's
worked in an
number
office.
3 twice. That's what she said.
Okay.
Whatever
Okay.
that means. So I guess horse number 3 and twice maybe is 100 each. I don't know.
I don't know. I couldn't tell you. But she runs into a friend, and it's Dr. Morgan.
She has more friends around the globe than she runs across murders around the globe. I mean, it's just...
Well,
it's probably a little bit equal, but...
I'm not sure why she's there, and it's not just to place a bet for Harry McGraw.
I think she's passing through.
Okay.
I don't know.
So she's friends with Dr. Christy. I should have known. What's the
Morgan.
last name? Morgan. That's easy. Why couldn't I remember that? Yeah. And Dr. Morgan is there with her fiance Todd
Sterling.
And what's interesting about this couple is that their fathers, both of whom breed horse racing horses, thoroughbreds for a living, are having a bit of a business dispute.
Yeah, it's almost like so the thing between Christy and Todd, I thought kind of gave off like Romeo and Juliet kind of vibe.
Yes,
where the families are opposing each other, and
there's dancing in the street, and Leonardo DiCaprio sees Dr. Morgan through the fish tank. Sorry, that's the Baz Luhrmann one.
I remember I was in high school when my English teacher showed us Romeo and Juliet, and it had a boob in it.
Oh, yeah. You know who that is? That lady who played Juliet? She's the girl in Black Christmas, Olivia Hussey. She's the same lady. She just died, by the way. And star of Murder, She Wrote. See what I did? Murderer, in fact, on Murder, She Wrote. I think in the second episode we ever did. So there's... Okay, so... what's Morgan's first name? Lamar. That's a hard one. Lamar Morgan. I had a lot of trouble with the names on this one, and I kept trying to remember who were the Morgans and who were the Sterlings.
Okay.
But that's my problem more than anything else. But anyway, the guy who plays Lamar Morgan is named...
Gregory Walcott?
Walcott, yes. And I was like, I know that name. I know that name. So I did my, pull up the IMDb. Turns out he was in the movie Plan 9 from Outer Space.
Really?
Yeah. I don't know who he played, but his last thing that he was in before he died was the movie Ed Wood. Because, he worked with Ed Wood, so Tim Burton gave him a cameo in that movie.
That's cool.
Yeah. This is like the second to last thing that he's ever done. I'm sorry, the penultimate thing that he ever did. So Randolph Sterling is played by Kevin McCarthy, star of Invasion of the Body Snatchers.
Yeah.
And Twilight Zone, the movie. One of the most disturbing things that I've ever seen is his scene with the rabbit.
Oh, that's right. He played the uncle. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, Uncle Walt or whatever. Mm-hmm. And he's kind of a prick in this. And it's obvious after a few minutes that he's going to be the one that ends up dead. He even comes with his own weapon, by the way. He's got this silver cane that he carries with him, even though he doesn't seem disabled at all. Go ahead. I feel like I've got diarrhea of the mouth over here.
Well, did we mention that Jessica's placing a bet, the $200 bet for Harry McGraw?
Yes, that was mentioned.
Okay. Oh,
yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So we also meet another character. I think her name is Sylvia Brown. I'm sorry. She's a psychic.
Okay. Oh God. Emmeline Bristow. Emmeline Bristow.
It's not, okay.
Okay.
Not
so
Sylvia. Okay. Dang it.
I always write down the character's name and then what they are, and next to her name I put horse psychic. They never mention that she's like a horse psychiatrist until the final scene.
See, I thought well, she talks to horses. And when I'm not talking about like she's a horse whisperer where she listens and interprets. No, she literally has full-on conversations with horses. Like, oh, how's your wife doing today? Oh, how the little nags doing? Are they okay? That's good. Going to a little horsey daycare. Okay, that's good.
And I'm thinking, well, that's sweet of them to let her hang around, really. I mean, poor lady, she must have money or something. No, she works there, Sean.
She
works there. She works there.
Oh, I thought she was at first was with Lamar. Like that was his
yeah.
wife.
See,
and he's like, and that's why he's drinking because he's married to her. Because one of the things happens is Lamar gets served papers, and it's this beautiful young girl that goes, "Are you Lamar Morgan?" He goes, "Well, yes, I am, pretty young thing." And I'm thinking he's not worried about his wife over here. He's talking to the horses, getting jealous. But yeah, he gets served papers. But I liked how it was served because he was obviously attracted to the young lady, and she's like, "Well, here, this is for you," and she gives him. Is that how you would have served papers, Sean? You would go up. And
I don't know if it would work.
Uh-huh.
I've been involved in so many. Well, I've worked on so many lawsuits, but I've never seen somebody get served. I've only seen it in movies and stuff like this. Yeah. But
like, what was the episode where we were watching where someone was walking to work and someone's on their bicycle and it was the one where it was in New York. It was two lawyers.
The discount salesman one?
Yeah, that one.
The one where he's just kind of the sad man and he's suing Jessica, I think.
Right, for stealing the plot of her book is the story or something. Yeah.
Yeah. The plot of the book was similar to his real life story from the past. And I think it ends up his wife is the one that kills him. If memories, I don't know. Death at a Discount. Go up and look that one up, folks.
Okay.
Or maybe it's Murder at a Discount. I don't know. Anyway, so there's this business. Do you want to tell us what the business dispute is about? I feel like I'm talking too much.
No, you're fine. So Randolph Sterling has a horse that he bought for, I think he said for like, I forgot, $6 million or something ridiculous. Some amount of money that's just beyond my thought of having to spend on anything. But he has this horse that he bought. He's going to put to stud. His name's King Paragon, and apparently Lamar has these two foals? What do you call female horses?
Foals,
Foals,
I think.
And apparently these two twins, these double mint twin horses, and King Paragon had a threesome, and now these two foals are pregnant.
They're
And
knocked up.
so, of course, Randolph Sterling charges for that studding fee. So he wants the $500,000 that it would have cost to stud, take King Paragon and stud him, and whatever other fees he's coming up with. And,
Yeah.
and Lamar's like, I didn't sneak King Paragon out of his stables or whatever, and he jumped and went into the field with the two females, and they did what three horses do. And
In
what
other words,
what a night King Paragon had that night. I mean, he was like, I'm getting me some horse's ass tonight.
that was my imitation of a horse, not the crypt keeper.
Please tell me that's not the only time we're going to hear that.
No, I gotta store it up. I have to recharge. This perk allows me 60 seconds to recharge. Damn it! I can't stop thinking about Dead by Daylight. Okay. So there's this problem, and everybody's getting more and more
you need to
pissed
stop
about
playing Dead by Daylight. That's the problem.
it. And Jessica,
Hey,
I
I got
don't
a
know.
question for you.
Okay.
So, have you ever dreamt about being in Dead by Daylight?
No, I wouldn't. That sounds horrible.
Oh, I
you
have.
know. Okay, really?
Yeah, like I have to go hide in a closet or something like that, and I'm peeking out, seeing you've never had dreams like that.
No. Fortunately no. I've had zombie dreams, but I've never had like serial killer dreams. And I have a problem with my bad dreams are usually me trying to drive like a bus or something, but I can't control it, and it's usually in Chicago. I don't know. Somebody look that up. What that means?
Oh, jeez, who knows? Okay, I'm sorry. Back to
That's okay.
Murder, She Wrote.
Okay, so we've got this nice cast, and Jessica's like, well, you know what? Maybe you could hire a private investigator. Why, I know just the guy, because I was here placing a bet for him, Harry McGraw.
Yeah.
So Mrs. Potts and Lumiere the Candlestick are on the case.
So yeah, they're hiring Harry to find out how the horses got pregnant.
They're hiring Harry to find out how the horses got pregnant.
Those hussies, those hussy horsies. I mean, I can kind of figure out what happened. I mean,
why do you keep going back? Well, okay. Well, okay. We know how the horses got pregnant. Okay. The question is, was it intentional?
Right.
Did the guy that owned the two girl horses do it intentionally? Okay, and that's what the lawsuit's about. And Sterling thinks that he's in good with the judge, so he literally calls Judge Hanley, and he says, I want you to hurry this case up the docket. I want a trial date as soon as possible. Blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
I can donate to your campaign.
yeah, these guys by Lamar and Randolph Sterling, they are loaded. They're both lots of money. They obviously fund politicians and stuff like that. It's just crazy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, we forgot to mention that Randolph Sterling, the guy who owns King Paragon, has basically two women in his life. He's got.
Oh, yes. Okay, we need to talk about.
We've got Althea, who's this. I'm not really sure what her role is. Maybe she sleeps with him. Like she's kind of a.
She's
a
in-
decoration for his arm, almost.
Yeah, he introduces her to Jessica as his friend. Do you recognize her from anything?
No. Where's she from?
Two words. I'll say these 2 words. This is my imitation. Daddy's watch?
What? Okay. I get it.
Okay. The Commodore's watch. Daddy's watch?
Oh, okay, that one. Yeah.
Yeah. Eat, drink. And also she was in The Silence of the Lambs. Probably did that right before or after this, where she played the mother, the senator, the mother of the kidnapped girl, Catherine.
Interesting.
Get this thing out of here. Yeah, so that's her. Forgive me, I didn't write the actress's name down, which was rude.
Trisha O'Neill.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, so he's got... So Randolph's got her, and then he's got his daughter. So yeah, Althea, she's kind of, I would say it's a gold digger, a southern gold digger. But his daughter is just a spoiled, racist brat. I can't remember why I wrote racist down, but she said something that made me write that down. What was it?
I don't know. I didn't get that impression.
She said something about a group of people, and I can't remember what it was.
Oh, yes. I know what you're talking about. Okay, yeah. I don't remember the context or the scene or anything, but I do remember she said something. Yeah.
So she's a daddy's girl, and she wants all of the money, and she's got a bit of history to her, which, when you start giving these random little background tidbits about a character, it makes you really suspicious.
Yes.
And so we get a little bit about the daughter. Her name's Diane, by the way. She's been married. She went to Cambridge. She got kicked out of Cambridge. She got married to a lord or something. Lord
something like that.
Snowcraft. Was that it? Did I write Snowcraft?
It's
in
like
my notes?
Snowton or Snowglen or something. It's Snow something. Snowcraft sound that might. You know what? It might be Snowcraft, which sounds like a video game, doesn't it?
Starcraft is actually it.
From the makers of StarCraft and Warcraft, we bring you Snowcraft.
But anyway, so she's divorced from him, and so she's just a snobby. And by the way, she does not get along with Althea. They kind of they kind of pick at each other.
Wear your glasses. The library is open. Let the reading commence. Yeah, like she pokes fun at the fact that Althea dyes her hair at one point. Althea says something to her like, "Oh, you're only a lady by marriage. You're not even a real lady at that, if you know what I mean." They're almost like two characters in a John Waters movie or something.
Yeah,
man, it would have been really fun to be in this. These, The characters are just so, like, you could take this story and put it in the English countryside at a big mansion where Poirot visits, and this translates so well into something like that. I feel this is obviously a lot of inspiration from Agatha Christie.
I was wondering, because there's a scene towards the end where Jessica's trying to look for clues, and she bumps into the maid of the Sterling home, and she talks to this maid. Yeah, she talks to this maid who's cleaning the windows. But the room, it looked like something that would be from a Poirot program.
Really?
Yeah, and
really?
Just that whole conversation, it was I felt very much like a Agatha Christie kind of thing. So
yeah, I have to we should have started doing this a long time ago, but take note of who writes these episodes.
Yeah.
So, this is written by so-and-so, he also wrote this and that, so he's got that going for him, It's just too much of a...
This isn't that kind of podcast.
Yeah, go listen to, yeah. Oh, shit.
More, yeah.
Whoops, sorry, technical difficulties. My headphone came out of my microphone.
Your headphone came out of your microphone?
That's literally what happened because the way I have a Yeti and the headphone goes into the microphone, the headphone jack is in the bottom of the mic. Oh, anyway, okay.
Okay, so there's a party.
There's a murder event.
Oh, yeah,
Okay,
hold on.
go
There's
ahead.
a party. And this party, I guess, is for Randolph Sterling to bring in people to come see King Paragon's sex-making abilities for studying. Because people are going to pay for this, so this is what the party's for. And so here we see that Althena, that's when she and Diane are nitpicking each other about like the gray hair, which is going to be a clue. What else? We also know that Althena is also horny for strangers. She's got a fetish where she's got to sleep with people she doesn't know. We learned that because I'm sorry, I like Jerry Orbach. I think he's a great actor, but when I see him, I don't necessarily see like what the attraction could be.
Okay, then let me ask you this: who would be an attractive man that age?
I don't know. I mean, Jerry Orbach probably was not attractive when he was in his 20s or 30s. I'm sorry.
He probably looked like that when he was 12.
I have a feeling like that. Yeah, I have a feeling he has not aged at all. He's probably 40 in this, I imagine.
Yeah, which is really sad because that's like 10 years younger than me.
It's like Abe Vigoda. You know, he looked the same when he was 12 until the day he died. So.
Oh, I remember one time on Letterman, they were going to have a seance and they were going to summon Abe Vigoda.
Oh.
And this was while the guy was still alive.
Yeah, and he comes on screen or something like that.
Yeah, he comes on screen and he goes, "Gap tooth bastard." Oh, okay, sorry.
Okay, so there's a viewing. Okay, so Jessica's going to introduce Harry McGraw as like a buyer, or he's interested in getting into the syndicate of horse racing.
Which he already is. In fact, when she calls him up, he's not going to take the job because he wants to spend money on the horses. Mm-hmm. And this is a facet of his personality that we have not seen before.
No, he loves horse races. I mean, that's his jam. Yeah. So he knows all about it too. I mean, it's kind of like that one guy that knows like everything about baseball. He knows all the stats way back, like into the 40s to today. Harry McGraw's that guy with horses, horse races.
And yeah, if you're like that with horses or baseball, everybody's like, "Oh, that's really cool." But if you're like that about Doctor Who, then you're a freak of nature. Can't date nobody. Just whatever.
Oh, did you get my text about the new Blu-ray set that got announced?
Yes, I did. I did. I'm
excited?
very happy. Yeah, I got another text shortly after that I'm like, okay, I'm just going to have to think about this. I'm not going to address this. And then all of a sudden, actually, Steve, what Steve did was he wrote a treatment for a Doctor Who podcast and then texted it to me. And then, like, 5 minutes later, texted, "Never mind, I'm drunk."
Actually, I had this wonderful idea. I was talking about bringing back one of our old podcasts, doing it, rebooting it with a specific mindset. We weren't going to talk about episodes per se, just the Blu-ray releases, the season Blu-rays releases, and. I was really hammered when I was typing that out. And after I sent it, I'm thinking to myself, "Oh, this would be awesome. He'll do it. Sean's a podcast whore. He'll do it." And so I started thinking about it. Well, wait a minute. I'm going to have to edit that. I'm going to have to put in all this time to do the podcasting stuff that's not the recording aspect, all the editing and all that. So I'm like, and still in my drunken stare, like, I'm not fucking doing that.
Exactly.
Never
Yeah.
mind. That was the part I hated about doing the podcast, was the edit.
Yeah, and it's true. It's absolutely true. Even though I'm a pretty shitty editor when it comes to conversations, I leave things in like coughs or farts or dogs or whatever.
It's good to know.
There is a special block of time I have to reserve for myself on Sunday to edit my podcast. So if you hear it on Monday, I just edited it the day before. Why does people don't want to know this?
No, they don't care.
No. And often there'll be like 3 or 4 episodes, like, quote, in the can, just not edited. And by the time you people download them and listen to them, it's been 2 months since we actually recorded that. So sometimes I get a tweet, or I'm sorry, an X out of context about something that we said, when I was hammered talking about Murder, She Wrote. I don't remember what you're talking. I didn't listen. Anyway, somebody dies eventually in this story. So
we'll get there. It got so much plot and story. So during the showing, Lamar confronts Randolph in front of all these people that he's not going to pay his ridiculous price and that he's going to kill him. Yeah. But I think he's drunk. He's saying this all drunk. That he's going to be the guy the people go after, the police go after, sheriff's department go after.
Yeah, his daughter is Angela's friend. Oh, God. Is Jessica's friend. So, yeah, definitely.
So something happens. Lamar disappears. We don't know what happened. It's now evening. Harry starts to look for him. Finds him at a local tavern, getting drunk, and Jessica and Christy decide they're going to go on a vet call. Because did we mention Christine is a vet, a horse vet or whatever?
Mm-hmm.
And so they got to go. They have to check on an injured horse on the Sterling farm, and that's when they find that Randolph has been beaten to death with his cane, his own cane.
Yes, because the murderer left the cane there for the police to find it, no doubt. But the murderer may have left his or her fingerprints on the cane.
Yeah.
And Jessica points out to Sheriff Tyrone that there's a jacket hanging on the coat rack that has what looks like a drop of blood on the sleeve. To quote Alfred Finney in Murder on the Orient Express, there are too many clues in this room. Oh, and the victim's hands have some sort of red substance on them that's not blood.
You're right.
And there's an incriminating note from, what's her name? Althea on the desk right there, perfectly outlining her motive for wanting him dead. This is almost like the start of a murder mystery party, and but the solution is always really, really complicated, way more complicated than this. But anyway, the game is afoot.
Yeah. Well, and also it's interesting that Sheriff Tyrone knows who Jessica is and does not want her help.
Yeah,
what an
I know.
idiot! What a moron! And she's already pulling out clues that he didn't notice right off the bat. The things you just discussed, pretty much. Yeah.
But I like how in one conversation, the sheriff's like, well, Mrs. Fletcher, I'm not going to allow no, city-dwelling city folk, mamby-pamby. And then 2 minutes later, he's like, well, I'm going to need some help because this might just get me fired. Oh, okay, now give Jessica access to everything.
Yeah.
So that's how she gets that. And this actor, by the way, that played him seemed really familiar. And I looked him up, and I could not find who he was, where I knew him from.
Yeah.
I think he may just look like some other actor. Anyway.
Well, there's another actor coming up in the next scene that I'm sure you recognized. So Jessica heads to the stables, and she finds a stableman or stable person.
Groomer. Well, that's Stable Boy.
Stable Boy, Derek Padley. And do you
Yes.
recognize the actor who plays Derek?
No.
Okay, well, we talked about him on JB as in Jailbird episode.
Really?
Yeah, he
Okay,
was
that was only
the
2
Bond-esque
Oh.
agent.
Oh.
Do you remember?
Okay.
And he was also
Yeah.
in Grease 2. He was the lead guy in Grease 2.
You mentioned that like 3 times last time when we watched that
Yeah.
episode. I think
I'm
that
gonna
you
mention
really
it.
like
I'm going for
Grease
record
too.
today. So you said 3, huh? How many have I said it so far? 2?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll need to sneak it in at least 2 more times. Anyways, so we're introduced to him, and he's just conveniently working on King Pentagram and Pentagram. Paragon. King Paragon. Yeah, he's Satan's stallion over here.
Hellraiser, the stallion. So he, Dr. Christie's like, well, you know, if his blood pressure's up, I can get the X-ray machine, and Derek's like, no, I'm not
No,
having
there
any.
No, there was he had his leg was because he had bolted out of his pin, and so he was
yes.
wrapping up the ankle or whatever that part of the horse is called. The ankle, I don't know. The leg.
The area above the hoof. I think it's
Yeah.
the ankle, but there may be vets out there, sorry, that know better.
But he doesn't want Christine to X-ray it, which
Right.
I don't think they have a portable. Maybe they do. A portable X-ray. I mean, that sounds expensive.
It sounds expensive and bulky for 1991. Yeah, that sounds almost a little bit too James Bondish. Like, I don't even think they must have it now. I don't know. All right. So Jessica and Dr. Christie are like, oh, you know, why do they go to the place and find the body? Why? What's the reason?
Well, because there was a injured horse that they needed to look at, and I don't know if that was King Pentagram, or if it was, I don't know what's in my head, or if it was another horse. Anyways, that's why they were there.
Okay, all right. So they come upon the murder that put the murder in Murder, She Wrote. There's Kevin McCarthy. What's his name? Raphael Sterling. Dead.
No,
on
not
the floor.
Raphael. It's not a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle. It's Randolph Sterling.
Oh. You know what I got? I'm so excited. I can't use it now, though. I don't have anything for $30. I got a paper shredder from Amazon.
Okay.
I love it so much.
Why
I just
Why
love.
did you bring that up? That's
I don't, because I looked at it just now. So, I already mentioned. We already talked about the scene of the crime. There are too many clues in this room. So, as the story progresses, we learn one by one that pretty much everybody in the house had an encounter with Sterling that night before he died. It's almost like they were standing in line at his at his door or something. And this includes Morgan, who Christie's dad, who we think probably has an alibi because he was out with Harry McGraw, but it turns out no, he was there too. Presumably he was the first.
yeah, there earlier. Yeah.
Yeah, which they don't point that out. Like, if he talked to the victim and then there were other people that talked to the victim after that, wouldn't that make him innocent? Then I don't know. And then the rest of the time, Harry can give him an alibi.
Well, yeah, when Lamar and Randolph met that day or later that day, because Lamar was trying to settle it in a gentlemanly way, like let's drop the lawsuit, let's figure this out. And Randolph was like, no, he wanted to sue the shit out of him. I mean, I guess he hated Lamar so much.
Yeah.
And punched Lamar in the face and bloodied his nose. So there was some altercation there. And so Lamar, I think hit him back. Anyways.
Yeah. And the red substance that was on okay.
Well,
I know I'm getting ahead.
You are. So, Jessica and Harry visit Lamar in jail, and that's when they find out about the fight. So there was indeed something that happened earlier. Okay. You were about to bring up the die, weren't you? I'm so sorry, because that's the next thing in my notes was how rude of me.
No. I think we should talk about the scene between Harry and Althea, where she basically makes the moves on him until he starts questioning her and basically accuses her of murder, and that's when she kicks him out and throws, I don't know, a bottle at him or something like that.
Yeah, champagne bottle. Well, yeah, but before that, the sheriff comes to Jessica and says, "Oh, the lab found out that wasn't blood that was left on the coat sleeve. It was hair dye."
Oh, no, it was blood on the sleeve, but it was hair dye on his hands.
Oh, on his hands.
Yeah, because he bloodied Lamar's nose, and that's where the blood came from, because they were able to say it's not the victim's blood, it's somebody else's blood.
Oh, but Harry remembered that comment where Diane was making fun of Althea's hair needing a touch up. So he put two and two together. That's when remembering that she dyes her hair, and went to go visit her and had that confrontation with her.
Yeah, and it's interesting that comment from before is actually, a clue. I like that. And there's something else that happened that we mentioned that was a clue too. But when we see these clues on screen, they don't do that thing where, all of a sudden they'll show a close-up of some random
zooms
thing.
in, yeah.
or Dave, would you hand me that giant glass ashtray over there, please? Thank you. Out of nowhere. So, yeah. So then what happened?
Well, I'm trying to remember why Jessica asks Harry to phone a bookie from the UK who takes horse bets overseas, and
I think she needed to get in touch with someone who knew a lot of racehorse history, like would know the difference between, say, King Pelican.
Panagram.
I'm sorry, Paragon, King Paragon, and was it Nightmare? Was that the name of the other horse?
No, it had a brother named Night Sword. Is that
Night Sword? That's right. Okay.
No, that's a stud name right there.
Night Sword. Yeah.
He's like, "Hey, ladies, can I show you my sword?" And they would giggle, and
yeah.
I don't know where that came from either. Oh my god, this is the worst podcast. Or resorting to doing horse laughs.
It's got to be a turn on for somebody.
Oh my god.
I'm into guys who sound like horses.
Foals. They sound like female horses. They giggle at...
Oh, foals. I don't know why, but I just thought of the movie Kill Bill. My name is Chuck, and I like to fuck. You ever see that movie?
Yes. What was the name of his van?
Pussy Wagon.
Pussy Wagon, that's right.
There's a stand-up comic. He said when that was on TV, they changed fuck to party. So he would say, "My name is Chuck, and I like to party." And the comedian says, "Why didn't they just name him Marty, too? My name is Marty, and I like to party."
That makes too much sense. Okay, so Christine, in all her wisdom, asks the judge to hold a preliminary hearing at the Sterling Stables.
Okay, all right. This is okay. Did that seem like legal bullshit to you, or were you just like, okay, sure, I'll go with it?
A little of both, to be quite honest.
Okay. So I'm one of those. I'm a lawyer, and so when I see bullshit law stuff on TV, I can't help. I gotta say something. There is a show called How to Get Away with Murder, where Viola Davis, her entire first-year criminal law class, basically just dropped everything and got involved in her and her backstory and all that. And I'm like, how can these people stay in school? They must be failing every class. They're going to get expelled. Anyway, you can't... Okay, I don't want to say you can't, but they want to have the hearing at the stable with the horse. The real reason...
the way they sell it, though, is that... And I think Christine says, well, Jessica has come up with a surprise witness. And then we cut to the stables.
Well,
and the surprise witness is the horse.
No. The judge says something like, well, whatever this is, this better be good. No, you have to know what it is. You are not going to change everything to the stable without having an explanation of why. He's just going by the fly of it. Well, is that J.B. Fletcher? Well, golly gee, yes, let's move it in there. It's my imitation of a country judge. Golly, yes.
I recognize his voice. The guy who plays the judge. What is his name?
He's probably been in some animation.
Yeah, Melvin Belly.
Oh, Star Trek. He was in Star Trek, the original Star Trek show.
Was he?
Know. Yeah. Don't ask me who he played. I just saw that on IMDb. That's like the first thing that it says.
The Gorgon. Is the Gorgon, was that the big lizard guy? That fights Captain Kirk?
Oh, no. That's something that starts with a D. It's not a Drashig. It's, if I heard it, I would know it. Because they actually brought them back for Strange New
Worlds. He really didn't do very much. He was in only 7 TV shows.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh. Well, rest in peace, sir. Godspeed. All that. Yeah, he was a really good, like, country judge. And, you know, of course, he's drinking Alka-Seltzer at 10 o'clock in the morning and asks his secretary for something stronger because now we have an idea what this justice is and how the law really works around here. And it's money, let me tell you, money. So they have this cockamamie hearing in the stable. And crazy lady, Emmeline Bristow, she's there.
Yeah, to interpret and... Yeah, and to interrogate, to cross-examine the new witness.
And the judge stands there and takes it like it's just, this is just fucking bonkers to me. But at the end of the day, they find out that from who does she call some agency in the UK. To find out about the lead.
Well, no, Harry does. He's talking to his book. He finds this out.
Okay.
Right about the brother, the horse brother.
Yes, Nightsword.
Nightsword, yeah.
And it turns out Nightsword wasn't quite as good as the king. Unfortunately, while Derek had the...
Well, no, Nightsword had an accident, right? Mm-hmm. And so he couldn't race. But they looked identical except for that Nightsword had a white sock spot on his left foot hoof area. Mm-hmm. And so apparently when King Paragon was being sold to Randolph Sterling, he died somehow. I can't remember. It was struck by lightning, I think they said.
Yeah.
And so instead of missing out on the $6 million that was going to happen from this transaction, they thought, well, we'll just take Night Sword instead and keep the papers, ship him over with Paragon's papers and keep the $6 million. And then the horse stable guy, Derek, was going to maintain, I guess, the secret by using hair dye to cover up that white spot on the horse's foot or hoof or ankle, whatever.
And what had happened was he was applying the dye when Randolph Sterling caught him in the act, and they had a scuffle, and he ended up killing. It was Derek. And for some reason, then he brought the body to the office and put it there. I don't know why. And to prove it all, Harry, goes, well, look, there's blood and red dye here on the cement floor underneath the straw.
He just came up with that shit, didn't he? There's no. He's like, but he said, yeah. He goes, oh, we found your gloves in your maintenance box or whatever they call it. And he goes, well, and Derek's like, oh, everybody has those. And he goes, oh, but do they have blood and hair dye stain under the straw on the concrete of the stable floor? And he just starts moving the hay. Like, what if that was nothing there? That would have been even better. But
that would be like a real murder by death moment right there. No, somehow I feel like everything had been staged, perhaps. I don't know.
That's what I would have said. If I was Derek, I'd be like, you must have placed... Where were you that night, Mr. McGraw? I don't know. Gave up too quickly. Derek did.
Yeah. But I don't recall what the... Oh, it was the fact that he told the vet he didn't want one of those newfangled machines doing an x-ray of the horse.
Because they would have found the wound. Yeah.
Yes.
It would have revealed it wasn't really King Paragon because he didn't have a broken ankle.
But how did she connect all of that with Derek?
Because Althea called Diane a name. It was after a character from a British literary.
Lady Chatterley.
Chatterley, yeah.
Okay.
I think that was the clue that kind of put pieces together for Jessica. Anyway, so that's it. That's the story. So Derek was the killer. I didn't like that we weren't introduced to Derek until halfway through the episode was over.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, they were lining up people left and right that could be prime suspects, but we didn't get to meet Derek until much later. So that's
I noticed that too, and because of that, quite frankly, I think that I didn't take Derek seriously as a suspect.
Right,
and it never occurred to me that it would be him. I thought it was going to be the judge for some reason. I don't know why. Maybe because Sterling knew that he was crooked. I don't know.
I thought it was going to either be Althea, but they were playing her up. I was like, no, it can't be. But then I started leaning towards my other suspect. I had two suspects, Althea and Diane, his daughter. Those are my two primaries.
Have there been any other instances of children killing parents on Murder, She Wrote?
Nothing comes to mind.
I don't think they've ever gone there. No. Okay.
So
it's a dark subject.
We cannot review this yet until we discuss the final scene of this episode. So Lamar is out of jail. They're all sitting around having some Kentucky bourbon, and they're all asking, like, comparing notes. Well, how'd you know this? How'd you know that? And Jessica's like, well, she's like, well, I'm going to give you $20 to place on a horse for the future. I guess because there's one of the pregnant horses is going to have or had a baby during this whole time, and so they think it's going to be a strong contender for the Kentucky Derby, I guess.
Okay. Yeah.
And Jessica's like, well, I won't be here for that, but here, take $20 and bet it on Chestnut for me. That's the name of the horse. And what she said to McGraw, because McGraw's shocked, like, oh, you're betting on horses? And she goes, well, I did get a tip from the horse's mouth.
Oh my God, I forgot about it. And then
I
they
just
all
wanted
laugh.
Yeah, and I wanted to boo. I just booed the screen. Because the name of the episode is from the horse's mouth. Like, they just had to fit that in. They could not resist. The writers could not resist that being the last line. Oh my God.
Oh golly. It's as if it was like, I'm trying to think of other stories like Jessica, JB Fletcher, JB as in jailbird. Put freeze frame. Dun, dun. Okay, I guess we rate now, eh?
Yay.
Okay, what are we rating this out of?
I'm going to rate it out of how much Jessica bets for Harry McGraw. She bets $200 on a big Palooga.
Okay, all right.
That's a horse name, by the way. It's
Let me think. Yeah, I like this. Actually, I think this episode was really fun. I'm gonna give this a. I'm gonna give this a 177. Okay.
okay.
So it's just over 3/4. The idea, I love a murder mystery where it's slowly revealed that, any one of the suspects could have done it because at one point or another they were all at the scene of the crime. And I like how, they do this in the movie, the old version, the 70s version of Death on the Nile. They may do it in the new version too, I don't remember, but they did it in the old version where when they talk about something that happened, they show
Oh, flashback?
a recap. Yeah, flashback of them, arguing with Kevin McCarthy or something.
Yeah, I think they do it. They did do that in the new one too. The new Death on the Nile. Go on. I'm sorry.
Yeah. And I really like that. I think that's really cool, to make it look like it really could be anybody, even the daughter, Who could it be? It's more like a solid, really solid whodunit. And for me, it was kind of fun. The whole court hearing in the stable, I have no idea where that came from. That was so dumb, but whatever. That was just a reason to get the entire cast, or all those characters, into the stable, I guess. So, yeah.
Well, it was an okay episode. I would say it's above average. I did like Jerry Arbott in this, though. I do like the Harry McGraw character. Mm-hmm. I just don't know what else to say. It seemed like a very meddling in between episode for me. So I guess
it's okay.
It's not bad. It's just I don't know. I give it, I don't know, a 160. I don't know if I'd go higher than that. I was thinking 155, but I'll give it the extra 5 for rounding it up. So.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, that's all right. It's okay.
Okay, cool.
Well, I didn't have as many problems with it as you, but...
Well, no, I got to be critical. I got to say good things, I got to say bad things. And I think overall with this, even though I made fun of it left and right, and there's things they could, maybe change, it was a great, solid mystery story. And it had Harry in it.
Yeah.
And it didn't have to have him in it, Like, she could have done this all on her own. Because does he really contribute that much? I don't think so.
No.
All right.
Mean, yeah, kind of bringing him in, I felt that was kind of silly, but I don't know. Out of all the extra characters, I mean, I like him better than Michael Haggerty, to be quite honest.
Me
as
too.
A recurring character, so whatever. That's it.
All right. All right, so the cats are here. They've wheeled the wheel in. Steve, go ahead and spin it now.
All right.
Still spinning. Wow, that was one real powerful spin. That wasn't like an old lady on the Price is Right spin. That was like when they get the young bucks up there, you know, with their frat buddies in the audience. They make that then. Okay. All right, we're going to watch an episode called, it's from season 8, Thicker Than Water. Thicker Than Water. So tell me what you think it's going to be about.
Blood. I don't know. They find blood somewhere, and they got to figure out who was recently killed. So they run a DNA evidence on it, even though it probably didn't exist in the 90s. Did they have DNA blood samples back in the 90s? I don't know.
It's a really good question. Yes, they did, because I'm thinking about, I knew a lawyer who worked in one of those cases. It was one of my professors in law school, and that was mid-90s. Wait, mid-90s? No, that was late 90s. That was late 90s. I'm sorry. I wasn't, okay.
So what is it?
Sorry. I actually like the actual explanation more than your guess at the plot, so yeah.
Well, mine wasn't really anything, but
It says Cabot Cove's Sheriff Metzger asks for Jessica's help with a homicide case involving his brother, who was recently released from prison. Okay.
Ooh.
That's
two sides of the coin in the family tree there. Oh my goodness.
Yeah. So I'm looking forward to that. It's obviously a Cabot Cove based episode, so that's nice.
So we got good old Seth Hazlitt back in this one. I see. Deputy Andy is in it. All right. Really, not very many people on the cast on IMDb.
Interesting. All right. Oh, I get it. Thicker than water. Blood is thicker than water. Okay. Sorry, everybody. All right. I think that's it. We'll see y'all next time for Thicker Than Water. Say goodnight, Steve.
Good night.
Good night, everybody.
Thank you for listening to the Cabot Cove Confab. If you've enjoyed it, please leave us a favorable review on Apple Podcasts. Also, feel free to reach out to us on Twitter at Cabot Cove Confab or email us at cabotcoveconfab@gmail.com.